7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Thank you. I am happy to be with you tonight at the first Laureus World Sports Award. Sport has the power to change the world. It has the power to inspire. It has the power to unite people in a way that little else does. It speaks to youth in a language they understand. Sport can create hope where once there was only despair. It is more powerful than governments in breaking down racial barriers. It laughs in the face of all types of discrimination. The heroes are standing with me are examples of this power. They are valiant, not only in the playing field, but also in the community, both local and international. They are champions, and they deserve the world's recognition. Together, they represent an active, vigorous Hall of Fame, a Hall of Fame that goes out into the world, spreading help, inspiration, and hope. Their legacy will be an international community where the rules of the game are the same for everyone, and behavior is guided by fair play and good sportsmanship. I ask you now to rise and join me in commending the original inductees into the World Sports Academy Hall of Fame.
Hi there, everybody. It's really good to be back on the updates for our Monday update. This week's update is quite an important one. And today we've got mixed feelings following our president's announcement moving us down to lockdown level 2, which he announced on Saturday. This brings us so much joy and elation, especially knowing that there is a way forward for our fitness industry, and we are so grateful that his announcements brings a lot of positivity, and it does indicate that we are moving forward in the right direction for our bodybuilding community and for our bodybuilding events to take place.
Well, fitness, just in general, I feel is fantastic too. see the number of people that were on a negative outlook on the social medias have a very positive sentiment of their viewpoint and the way forward for us all in the fitness industry, whether you're bodybuilding or anything fitness related. It's positive. There's a sort of path that we need to progress through. However, with that being said, that's where my concern lies. Is the optimism is fantastic, but the realism is more important than anything else. For us at Champagne Productions and myself at Mr. Safety Protection Group are very much involved with the FitSA team's framework that sits on the table currently for us to open the facilities, guys. And I'm going to give you a view of what is going to be tabled with the government. You can see now that that is the statement there, that it is only once it's gazetted can this be tabled. So that's where we are. It is a number of pages. You can see it's not standard, it's not simple, but yet we're positive that there is a way forward for the opening of the fitness facilities, irrespective. Okay, so that being said, I'm going to attach to this links and information for those that are running fitness facilities. They can reach out to myself and the Mr. Safety Protection Group for any insights and any assistance that anyone may need or require to open their fitness facilities in a safe, responsible manner. I feel that everybody is dying to get open. What the government is trying to ensure that it is done in a regulated way, that it can be done safely. The moms and pops gyms and the guys that are operating that are not commercial need to ensure that they have the systems in place regardless. The last thing you want is people getting sick in your facility, prohibiting them from training. The last thing we want. I feel that will just make it negative for the entire industry and put us on a back foot that doesn't make it conducive for the contest, which is ultimately what we're trying to get to.
And we want to make sure that these facilities do open as quick as possible, because not all of the athletes and the fitness community have had access to home setups. There are a lot of us that are fortunate and have had the ability to have home setups. But I know there's a lot of athletes and people out there that rely on the fitness and the mental health aspect and release that they get from participating in fitness activities, that are dying for these facilities to open. So ING really is working hard to make sure that happens as quickly as possible for them. So that's the update on the gym situation that came out of the president's lockdown.
So positive, guys, very, very positive. We're optimistic. However, please bear with it and don't think that it's just a formality of the facilities opening their doors and we're good to go. It's a bit of a process of ensuring that the regulations are agreed upon and that it's fair and effective, conducive to business. Right now, when I look at it, I'm a little bit concerned and skeptical of the pricing impact that it will have on the fitness facilities to continue to run. However, that being said, right now I'm just looking to get the fitness facilities open in a safe manner. So that being said, we will progress and assist Grant and the team at Fitness SA as best we can on their venture. I mean, they're leading this. They are dealing with the courts, so we will support them in the fitness fraternity as best with my expertise as we can. However, there's something else that is of particular concern to Candy and myself at Champagne Productions with the planning of events and fitness, how would we put it, gatherings are the concern. Champagne Productions have intention to look at the broadcasting capacity to produce the events. However, with what our number one states on Saturday, it is still very, very much prohibited. In gatherings may not take place. Therefore, we've got a bit of red tape that we are trying to process through in terms of what is called the JOC, the Joint Operations Committee, that Mr. Safety submits all the applications and the planning documentation to for each municipal district to get the relevant approvals. And currently,
Well, gee, like what I want this live to really be is for us to explain better to our athletes that don't really understand the whole job claimant and everything. So I think we need to give them just a little bit of a background as to like really where we came in and introduced bodybuilding to the safety aspect and the job, and that can better explain where we're sitting at. So it goes as far back, guys, as 20, well, it actually goes much further back, but I'm not going to let G bore you with that story. But in 2014, G contacted associations in the bodybuilding industry to help uplift the sport and make the sport safe. I know the first show that G ever took me to, it was totally overcrowded. There was like no space for anybody even to stand anymore. And with what he does for a living, the health and safety, and what he studied, G studied the Disaster Management Act, which was brought about because of like
the Ellis Park
disaster. And since that disaster, it's become very important for events to get the necessary approvals and stuff in place to make sure that everybody attending is safe. Okay, so G introduced that process and introduced bodybuilding to the authorities in 2014, I think it was, with the Amateur Olympia that came to South Africa. And that was the first event that was officially approved by the cities, having all the right safety protocols in place. And that's something that we've carried forward in all of our events. It's very important to us that we ensure that our events protect our spectators 100% and all the right protocols are in place.
Yeah, one thing I can confidently say is I know that there's a number of other promoters and federations out there that don't do what is legislatively required. I'm not here to bash them or put them down or highlight them for anybody. I'm just here to reiterate that 100% everything we do at Champagne Productions and the IFBB Pro League, NPC World Belt South Africa is per the legislation. I couldn't be bothered about anybody else's doings. We're going to focus on making sure what we're doing is legal from the outset. We've always done it. We introduced it to the sport. We're going to continue to do so. It's more highlighted with the COVID and the lockdown and the regulations and ensuring that you have approvals. Currently, to get approval for an event does not go through the Joint Operations Committee of the respective municipal districts. It is currently, if you are to host an event or to submit a plan to the South African National Command Council.
And that's how it is. As long as we are in the state of disaster, the National Command Council makes all the decisions for the country. And as soon as that gets lifted, which has now been extended to the 15th of September, so the municipal events officers don't really have any jurisdiction until that lockdown gets lifted. So going into this past weekend, we have been working closely with the authorities throughout this whole lockdown. The Event Safety Council is there, working and submitting their plans to government, because our entire industry, the events industry, is still an industry that remains prohibited to carry on in the lockdown. So on Friday, I touched base knowing that the president was going to be making another announcement. I did touch base with Colonel Kruger's office, the National SAPS Commissioner's office, and just touch base directly. Like, I wanted to have all my facts from the horse's mouth. Our events were categorized in. We submit our categorization already in December. So our events have been categorized and I've been liaising with them, and I wanted to find out what is the procedures going forward. They referred me then to discuss it further with the Tshwane City Jock, and I contacted the chairman directly and we had a conversation just so that I knew what our options were. If it got lifted, we could proceed with our application and get our approval for Muscle Militia.
And just so everybody knows, this is somebody that I've been working with in the industry for about 15 years. I have a very, very good relationship. So as to ensure Candy didn't get any ambiguity from my discussions, she discussed it directly with Mr. Burgess.
And I did. And, you know, the events departments, they really want events to happen. At the moment, while we're in lockdown, they can't do those approvals. So I've got the assurance of the Tshwane Jock chairman that as soon as his office is permitted to give those approvals again, they are going to help us make sure that we are able to proceed with our events safely. They're going to work with us because at the end of the day, events is also their livelihood. So without events being allowed to happen, it also leaves them without employment. So we are all working together to make sure that things can happen. But with the president's announcement that he has extended the national state of disaster for yet another month to the 15th of September, it really pains me to let you guys know that we once again are forced to postpone the Muscle Militia Grand Prix. Due to the fact that despite our efforts, we won't be able to get the necessary approval to run our events legally. So yes, guys, the Muscle Militia Grand Prix, we are going to be postponing it to 2021. Which leaves us with just one more chance to get a show in this year, and everybody, the jock, the authorities, they're all behind us to make sure that our events can happen when they are allowed to happen. So guys, yeah, I'm sorry for the emotions, but you know, the lockdown, the planning for the events, that is what has kept me going and kept me sane. As much as I know that it keeps our athletes sane to have a goal in mind, to have a goal to work towards. So planning the shows has been my savior. Planning and making sure that we can make it happen for you guys. Okay? And I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to give up. We're not going to give up. And we're going to regroup, focus, and continue to put all our efforts and plans into the next goalpost which we have, which is the iCandy Classic Pretoria, which is scheduled for 16 weeks out from now. So that is where things stand, guys. And I'm devastated for the athletes that have been prepping for Muscle Militia for the whole year. But the stage will always be there, guys, and I just want to assure all the athletes that have entered the contest this year in 2020, we will ensure your entries are valid for the entire 2020 season. So if you wanted to enter the show at the end of the year or any of our regional contests next year in 2021, your entries are valid for those. Yeah, guys, so I know in these times it's really hard to stay positive. And I am really trying to keep things together and stay positive, keeping a goal there for you guys as well.
The stage not going anywhere, guys. That's the fact that I keep holding in my heart that no one can take. It won't go. It will always be there. When we can bring it to you, we're going to do it as fast as possible, as safe as possible. That's all we can do.
So yeah, guys, regroup.
It's positive that we've got ability to see the foresight that the gyms can open again, guys. Don't get us wrong. We believe that there is positivity whilst a lot of uncertainty. And for us, it doesn't make sense to continue to plan or lead you down a road that we don't have certainty. That last 6 weeks of prep is essential. And we, as athletes ourselves, know that I would rather know it 6 weeks out, yay, nay, than 2 weeks out that it's a nay. So therein, Candy has insisted that we make the release to you guys at 6 weeks. 6 weeks
Well,
out.
that's what we promised.
We promised.
6
We
weeks
have
out.
integrity. We're about that. If we say something, we're going to do it. We do it. Therein, this Monday Night Live is long overdue, but we can't really say anything if there's nothing to say. So please hear and understand that we've been in sort of quiet for a while because there's nothing to say. We've got to this point and we have been.
Well, we've just been waiting for the
Stuck.
announcement so that we know what our next move is going to be and how we can adjust our planning accordingly.
Yeah, for us it's a way forward. It's not a backwards forward. So whilst we understand that another opportunity may present itself to keep avenues open, guys, we are just going to continue with the possibility that on December we have the opportunity for gatherings to take place and broadcastings to be more freely approved. We will make that a reality. Therefore, it doesn't make sense to put our time and your time and money and effort into something that is potentially taken away from us at the very last moment. So we're going to do our very best in making the way forward a very clear, decisive one for everybody. The industry, our shows, the athletes, the fans, everybody. Our intention at Champagne Productions is that it's a very clear and decisive way forward. The ambiguity and the confusing statements that we're constantly having to endure and entertain is beyond what we feel is needed. So our strategy and focus is about clear, decisive way forward in strategy. So December, guys, think about it. Reach out to us if you've got questions, concerns about the eye candy. Essentially, it's the same venue. The date, for us, is just moving. We're moving the goalpost into December where we know that the facilities are more operational. You guys are able to get in there, train, and do what we feel is required in order to hit our stage. Without preparation, without being the best version of yourself that you can be, battling at the best you can be. Yes, we're all with the level playing field, but it's not what we're about at Pro League. We're about the ultimate human beings. We've seen the shows overseas, the standards of what's been happening. And guys, we do not want to jeopardize what we feel is your ultimate platform to enjoy yourself. Let's regroup and focus on that December date where we know that your efforts and focus and energy and everything that you've invested in yourself and the contest is going to bear fruit. That is my feelings, that's my personal opinion, my professional opinion, the promoter's opinion, the judge's opinion. All in a nutshell, it is very emotional for Candy and myself to share our feelings with you today, but it's always in the best interest for you as our customers, as our athletes, as our fans of the superheroes and the athletes. I mean, you guys are inspirational. So we do not want to waste that inspiration and flush it, guys. We do have a lot of other content that we will be sharing with you over the next few weeks, as to keep you motivated and inspired. We've got some stuff from the Dexter Jackson show, which took place. We've got Chris Menes interview, which we'll be sharing with you guys.
And then there's the virtual Pose with the Pros series.
Which is underway. We've done our first recording with the
Yeah.
Classic Physique. We're packaging that. So lots to put together for you guys, and express our deepest condolences to those that are disgruntled by the announcement. We feel your sympathy. We hear our sympathy and know that it's
Really out
it's
of
real
our
for
control.
us. It's out of our control. We are still trying to keep as positive but real at the same time about the way forward. To those that are already prepping, keep it up. The stage is there. It's not going anywhere. So when we're going to regional, you guys, to make sure that we are keeping to the regulations of what our federation wants, so that you guys can compete internationally. But as it currently stands, there is no international travel. So with that in mind, and that as a factor in our decision, we are motivated to work with international shows, as well as the local government requirements, to make shows our reality, guys. So keep your eyes out. We will be sharing some awesome content. If you've got any ideas or athlete features or things you've got in mind that you would like us to run on this Monday platform, give us a shout. Let us know what you're interested in, and we will definitely help develop and keep you guys inspired.
Yes, and we've been working really hard also behind the scenes, speaking to the venues and confirming our dates for next year. We've got 1 or 2 still to confirm, and as soon as we've sorted that, guys, we're going to release the 2021 calendar, because we know that, well, our Champagne Productions calendar for our postponed events, and I know there's a lot of you that are super keen to set your goals for 2021.
So, guys, keep positive. Look out for those regulations in the gyms, for those gyms and fitness facilities that are needing any assistance. Reach out to us, Garen at mrsafe-t.co.za, or hit me up on our website. We will definitely assist anybody and everybody looking to get fit, get active. For those that are looking for equipment, have a look at the Champagne Productions website. Candy has got involved with a couple of the manufacturers and distributors of weights. If anybody else is manufacturing, get in touch with us, reach out to us, let us build that network so that we can equip everybody, whether it be at their homes or at their friends' places, whatever it is. We want to make sure people are as active and as fit as possible during the way forward, so we can get those shows and back to normal, guys.
Yeah, 100%.
Be safe,
Be safe.
be fit, and we'll see you soon.